missed us. You missed us, didn't you? I get it. Happy Wednesday, everyone. So Joe Biden had a big win on Super Tuesday. He woke up. I mean, consider the alternative. But the president did lose American Samoa. And when he found out, he said, "It's a shame. I really like their cookies." Meanwhile, Donald Trump went 14-1, losing only Vermont. Vermont has a population of over 645,000 people, or as Trump calls them, total losers. Nikki Haley has suspended her presidential campaign after a series of Super Tuesday losses. She got 46 delegates compared to Trump's 731, and she still called it a success, proving once again women can't do math. Oh, shut up! According to a report, the Biden administration has secretly flown 320,000 illegal aliens to 43 airports. Joe claims to have a lot in common with these people since they don't speak English either. Charles Barkley said he would punch black people in the face for wearing Trump mugshot T-shirts. Luckily, his victims won't have to worry about him having any rings.
Nice.
Yeah. Woke officials at the Department of Veterans Affairs moved to ban from agency buildings that iconic photo of a World War II Times Square kiss. You see that? Saying it was no longer appropriate for today's military, so they're replacing it with this. After emerging from a coma last summer, Madonna claims she spoke with God, who said, "Oh my me." Come on, Kat, that was funny.
I like Madonna.
I know, but "oh my me" is funny, to me anyway. Governor DeSantis announced Florida will be cracking down on this year's spring break festivities. Now underage co-eds looking to get drunk and have sex will have to go back to college. It's true. Hillary Clinton is telling voters to accept the reality that Biden is old and re-elect him anyway. And Bill told Hillary to accept the reality that he's going to spring break. Instagram was down for nearly 4 hours yesterday, leaving many no other choice but to ask people directly if they like how their butt looks. That's all it's good for. Facebook also suffered a widespread outage, with almost 500,000 users reporting they couldn't access their accounts. It's the first time anything has gone down on them.
You're in rare form tonight.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's the antibiotics. Kyrsten Sinema will not seek re-election to the United States Senate. She will, however, hire a new wardrobe consultant.
Whatever happened to him?
I don't know. R.I.P. An Oregon woman earned a Guinness World Record for her unusually large tongue, which measured over 5 inches around. In her acceptance speech, she said, "Flap, flap, 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 flap." All right, let's do a monologue. So with Trump cruising to victory in the primaries and Biden's slow implosion, we should once again get used to seeing the media's curiously timed stories that will bash the dawn. This week's comes from Rolling Stone. If you don't remember that magazine, it sucks. Their recent piece claims that the Trump White House was rife with drug use. The headline reads, "Trump's White House was awash in speed and Xanax," essentially saying that Trump's White House is no different than the Rolling Stone offices. But here's what's weird. What led the rag to look into this was a report released in January by the Defense Department detailing how the White House medical unit managed drugs during the Trump administration. How nice of the Defense Department to rat them out. Talk about proof of a deep state. That info came from the Defense Department before an election. It's almost as if the timing and release was meant to undermine one candidate. Seems like a big deal, right? This is the Defense Department, people. There's nothing else for you to focus on? They left billions of dollars in military equipment in Afghanistan, and they're worried about some Ambien use by some flack in the West Wing. Lloyd Austin didn't show up for a week. And they're concerned that a White House staffer copped a Xanax 4 years ago? Don't you have better things to do, like employing an activist to oversee nuclear energy waste disposal? This guy with stickier fingers than Jeffrey Toobin? I know. The piece...
Wow.
The piece concludes that White House docs didn't comply with federal guidance by dispensing non-emergency controlled meds, such as Ambien and Provigil, without verifying the patient's identity. Now, for those who don't know, Provigil gets you out of the Ambien haze after a long flight, which is normal for anyone in a position that requires traveling, like reporters and politicians, and the drug mules who supply Dana Perino with her growth hormone. And what did Rolling Stone do to fill in the missing details? Call the unnamed source department. So I wonder, would those be the same unnamed sources who gave us Russian collusion, who told us the laptop from hell was fake, or the ones telling us that behind closed doors, Joe Biden is sharp as ever? I'm starting to think the unnamed source is one person who's just a master of disguise. But I guess it's a lot easier to lie when nobody knows who you are. But what if it's true anyway? You know what it shows? It shows that even when it comes to drugs, the Trumpers beat the Bidens hands down. When you think of the current White House, you think of Hunter and Coke and whatever they pump into Joe to keep him upright. Now, as anyone who's been around a user knows, cocaine is a drug that makes you babble incoherently, makes you think you're smarter than you are, more important than you are, and just overall better than you are, which is why on the street it's known as Jesse.
No stone unturned tonight, Gutfeld.
Yes. But while the Bidens specialize in a drug based on escaping your failures, apparently the Trump White House was taking drugs to allow them to work harder. At the Biden White House, people did drugs to cope with a lifeless boss. At the Trump White House, they did drugs to keep up with a maniac. The article claims Trumpers took stimulants because they needed an energy boost after a late night or just a pick-me-up to handle another day at a uniquely stressful job. I get it. It's why I spike our office water cooler with Ritalin. But it also claims some Trumpers took Xanax to soothe themselves while enduring the sky-high levels of stress in the highest pressure environment in America. So they were using it as intended. Wow, there's a story. What a scandal. What's next? An expose on the use of lice combs on John Bolton's mustache. The regular applications of flea powder on Omarosa.
Wow.
I know. And yet these two writers think this is an election year scoop, writing that with Trump pushing to return to power, a full accounting of the misuse of powerful stimulants and sedatives isn't just a matter of historical interest, it's a preview of a very possible future. So now Rolling Stone, after decades of glorifying casual drug use, is worried about the misuse of stimulants. Do they not remember who ran Rolling Stone? Jan Wenner? Hell, a 2017 bio details how Coke was everywhere in the office. If Wenner, quote, heard an office door slam, his Pavlovian response was to go find out who was doing cocaine without him.
Damn.
What happened to you, Rolling Stone? You should change your name to Kidney Stone, you ossified. But forget Rolling Stone's past. What about the media's present? Do the two dimwits who wrote this dreck realize that they just described the drugs that fuel their entire profession? Xanax and Adderall are so entrenched in the information industry, they drug test you to make sure you're on them. So what if some of Trump's staff got prescriptions? You'd need a stimulant too if you were around Mike Pence all day. Oh. Fact is, the only thing higher than Hunter during the Biden White House has been the price of eggs. Oh, and Trump's current poll numbers, which is the reason why these stories are popping up. Joe's in deep trouble, so expect every possible shot to be launched at Big Orange. Lawfare, fake allegations, more sex, more drugs, more urine. It's already making me nostalgic for Larry Kudlow's hot tub. As Trump racks up primary wins, they're going to get more and more desperate. And that's coming from me, people, not some unnamed source. Let's welcome tonight's guest. His mind may be built for journalism, but his hair is built for hosting a game show. Fox News contributor Charlie Hurd. She's so sharp, hemophiliacs filed a restraining order. Campaign communications expert Erin Perini. She's like GM. She's from Detroit with parts from many different factories. New York Times bestselling author and Fox News contributor Kat Timm. And when he goes to lift weights, he used tectonic plates. New York Times bestselling author, comedian, and former NWA world champion Tyrus. Charlie, what's with the Defense Department? Is this normal?
Well, with Trump, yeah, it's all normal. I mean, it's sort of a little surprise when you consider, I mean, the FBI, the CIA, the entire intelligence community, the State Department, the foreign intelligence services, they've all been conspiring all along. And I think you're exactly right that the reason all of this is happening right now is because they realized they woke up along about last week or so, and they're like, oh,
yeah,
this guy is got a path to win, and he's gonna win. And I think if you look at the the issues that are going to be fought about for the next 8 months, he is going to win.
Yeah, it's funny, Aaron, to see Rolling Stone come out against drug use.
It is. They don't talk about the cocaine found in the White House. They gloss over that. But in that story, they also say that a staffer for the First Lady went into the White House medical unit once and asked for Xanax and was told no. So, this rampant drug use is still somehow regulated. Also, that on these international trips, which are incredibly grueling when you have to show up and immediately face foreign dignitaries and foreign press corps, that the White House doctor would walk through the plane and be like, who needs what? And they would track it. So all of this seems on the up and up. But again, this is just a hit piece because now Donald Trump is the presumptive nominee. And what do you know? Drug use is rampant. But let's go ahead and ignore the fact that it is done legally, appropriately. And, there's Hunter Biden on the other side.
Exactly. Kat, I don't know about you, but if I worked for Trump, I would be on drugs. I've talked to him on the phone. It's like it's exhausting just talking to him. You have to be on your A game all the time.
I mean, my favorite quote from this article was, whatever someone needs, we're going to fill this. One source with the direct knowledge of the matter recalls. I'm like, sounds like a pharmacy. It sounds like actually a good pharmacy.
Yes.
I wish there was more of that vibe at my local Walgreens, actually.
I know.
They're always out of stuff, and there's all these shortages of various drugs. Write about that. Write about problems that people are facing rather than people were taking Xanax on Capitol Hill 4 years ago. I bet they still are.
Yeah, yes.
It's legal prescription drugs. The only thing that this freaked me out in this article is they were saying there were rumors that you shouldn't tell the counselors things because if my therapist was ever saying things that I said in sessions, you guys would never see me again.
Yeah.
You think I'm joking, but I am dead ass on that.
That is true.
But they said that may have been overblown, and there was really not so much evidence of that. There was apparently a lot of evidence that people were taking legally prescribed stimulants and legally prescribed Xanax. The horror.
Yes.
I actually don't understand how this was, maybe they thought there'd be something more to it and they just went ahead with it anyway. But there's welcome to the world. People are on Xanax here.
Yes.
You're trying
Literally.
to prescribe journalistic standards to the Rolling Stone. I think that's like, you're trying to say, oh, look, why did this even get published? There are no journalistic standards at the Rolling Stone.
They probably did want something on Trump, and there wasn't anything there.
No, they're so, listen, the DOJ and all the organizations, they literally lost a black man on Black History Month. So the most wokest, most observant group, he was in the hospital, nobody knew. They literally lost a brother on Black History Month. The one time you're supposed to pay attention to it.
You're supposed to be seen
At least
February.
acknowledge him. And no one saw him.
Yeah.
So I feel at that point there should be a representative from the woke to be like, we was just messing around, guys. We really didn't. So that, to top it off, what they're going to do is what they've been doing. All the bad stuff that they usually accuse President Trump and his administration of doing, they're doing.
Yeah.
So they're setting us up that there was a lot more than one bag of cocaine. There's going to be more stuff that comes out as people realize they're losing their job. So what they're going to do is like, yeah, they were getting cocaine, but at least they weren't getting legal drugs prescribed from a doctor in front of people in the public eye. That is disgusting. He had a private relationship with his drug dealer, and how dare any of us look into that and question that? So we're going to start getting more and more of the stuff because we're not getting a debate. I keep saying it. It was on the Little Five today. Everyone keeps asking. Tyrus has answered this question a million times. There's no debate. If we could have a conversation with the other side, we might be in a better position, but there's no conversation. Hence, there's no debate. So they're going to take little things like normal things and turn it into the same and equate it as the same as, well, Melania was no different than Hunter. She was doing drugs in the White House too, except hers was prescribed by a physician that's actually allowed to prescribe. So that's what we're going to see. They're just mirroring it up to see, vote for us, vote for us. But there'll be no actual debate.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.